Holy shit. Welcome. Wow. Welcome to episode 50 of the TwoKinds podcast. We're here. We're finally here. Oh man. I gotta admit, I was not expecting all this to happen so soon. And it's only 50 episodes, but it feels like it's been going on forever. Feels like it's been a very long time. Oh man, what can I say? I can't really thank you guys enough. I appreciate all your support throughout the past year. Yeah, it's like exciting. It's just something to look forward every Wednesday, or sometimes Thursday, depending on Tom's schedule. But yeah, like this is, I don't know, it's just fun. It's just fun to do these. We can just chill, be a kind of like niche community here, and just have a good old time. But yeah, for 50, I mean, if you read the description, yeah, I wanna take a deep dive into the character Keith. Because he is my favorite character, actually, and I've been wanting to do something just a really deep dive and break the character down, see his development. Yeah, Keith is fucking awesome, man. He is my favorite character, and his story so far has probably been my favorite with that. Anyways, enough about all that. I know you guys want to get into it, so let's get into it. Let's start with this one. We got Flora and Flora's well, not canon cousin. No, wait, is it cousin or sister? Yeah, sister. Ivy. Burying Trace on a probably single-handedly one of the best sandcastles I've ever seen. I like it a lot. I don't know how Trace is gonna get out though, because that's probably heavy. But it looks great, colored in. I love the sun effect and how it just lights up the background, all the colors, all the yellow. It's weird though, it's kind of like freaky because I know it's a castle, but Ivy looks giant. She looks like a giant. So does Laura. But I like it. I always like these ones. They're just fun. And since, hey, spring's around the corner, so sandcastles for everyone soon. That is gonna be something exciting. I'll just get rid of that in the background. There we go. Bam. Let me make this slightly smaller. Just for you guys so we can see Adira's sister. In a really nice outfit, actually. Which we did see, but it was not colored in. I like it a lot, though. Like, I thought it would be, like, red, but no, it's like, almost like a wine color with, black going for it, too. It looks damn good. Like, Tom fucking knows how to make a dress. I'll probably see it. I don't know if this character is gonna be canon or not soon, but I kind of hope so. Because it would be awesome to have this character and, develop her. Which, Tom may be. I mean, see, like, her wearing, something closer to a dress than anything we've seen lately. Because the rest of the character's clothing is like extremely basic, but I love these ones. When they're intricate, they look great. Ah. Alright, we did this one last week too. But it was not colored in. This time it is. Here, I'll yeah, this is your fox. You were together, yeah. Does she bite? Well, sometimes, but it doesn't hurt. Oh, it's so weird. And now we can actually see the city a lot better, too. Damn, it looks so damn good. As a background, fuck. I know the characters are supposed to be like the main front, which, you know, they pull off perfectly. Especially the cop with the bright colors going with the black. Like the gold. And then we have that like white underneath too. It looks really, really well. And then you got the fur. With the tufts. The brown tufts. Those go well. God damn it, Tom. And then... and then the furry handcuffs. Not the furry, the fluffy. The fuzzy handcuffs. I believe they're called. Such a weird one now that I see it. It's like a baton, fuzzy handcuffs, and a friggin' leash. It's like, okay, what world are we in? Which dimension is this? Maybe we'll find out. Or maybe not. Nah. What is happening here? Alright, let me read this out. I just gotta hold of myself first. Alright. Alright, bring him up. Don't drop him this time. Oof, I don't get paid enough for this. Hanging in there? Haha, shut up. The behind the scenes of TwoKinds. I like how a dragon isn't even technically a real dragon. Like, are those even wings? And the tongue is just out too. And I like how, yeah, in this realm, Clovis and Nat are actually good friends. And drop him. How can you? Well, actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, it probably is pretty easy to drop a dragon onto the floor. The green screen. And I like how the Clovis and Nat have clearly like a soft patch underneath them in case they fall, but not him. Not the Clovis dragon. He's just got hard cement. Oh, that's funny. Ooh, fight night. Fight night with Nat. Yeah, that's one fight I do not want to be a part of. I do not want to face off against Nat. Nat can kick anyone's ass, I think. She can kick Keith's ass, too. She has many times before. And I guarantee that's Keith on the opposite end. Because we're looking at Nat, and it's short. This POV is very short like me, and like Keith. That is one thing we have very much in common. Both of us are very short. I'm only 5'1". I'm not very tall. Oh god, anyone who owns a doll knows this. Natalie! Oh my god, right after a shower, they just do that. But Nat's just doing it to be an asshole. Dogs can't help themselves. Nat can. She can clearly use a towel, but refuses to. Cause who wouldn't want to do that to Keith? Or to anyone for that matter. Or just be drenched in water and then just shake. Oh my god. Poor Keith. He just got dried up too. Just sitting there reading a book and then Nat just has to come along and fuck with him. Good job, Nat. Hey, the mother. Oh, it's so nice to finally meet the friends I've sent so much about. That's kind of creepy. It's been nice meeting you too. I don't know what Willow was so worried about. More tea, ma'am? Please. Yeah, and then we have Willow. The body of Willow and the soul of Willow is just going in the other direction. That is some creepy shit, honestly. But it's so cool. That's creepy. The tendrils, too, coming down to get Laura. Oh, man. I want to know more about this character. It's so cool. The mother easily has to be cut. Like, just a character to bio, please. At least start off with a character bio. The mother is so cool. And just ginormous. I wonder if Nora is bigger though. Because we don't really know what happened to the mother. What is her origin story? We'll find out. Oh, that's it. Alrighty then. Let me get the new page up and then we can begin. Boom! There we go. Alright, so April 5th today, 2023, Severed. Ooh, Clovis. I think it's time I took that gift back. Oh, and then we have Nat just screaming in pain. The tie. Oh, snap. The link is severed. Zen, the link, the mindscape, it's gone. Oh, shit. Whew. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen now. Like, he just severed the link. And in the previous page, she was completely suspended. As we all said. Here, we'll take a look at it. Completely defenseless. Man. Yeah, jeez. I don't know what's gonna happen to Nat. I really don't. But the link was severed before. Nate Parody on Discord. He was actually saying that the fight between, well, what we're seeing right now between Clovis and Nat, like, this is the result. Like, he was suggesting that when the fight first began, and he was right. But he also says that Nat has lived without the link before, which is correct. But she was out cold, and it's only when she woke up confronting a part of herself within the mindscape that was sort of blocked off. That we did see that. I'll actually go back to it here. That's what I'm talking about. I think it was... Oh, sure. Still pending. Synapse is still pending. We have all that. Good. Ah, that's pretty cool. I think it was right here. Wow, it's loading pretty slow. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Here. But did the... Hey, I already stopped playing? No. Okay, there we go. Just making sure. Yeah, so this is when the Link first tried her. After Zen... Well, he wasn't forced to, technically, but he was sorta kinda binded. He was in a rough spot. He couldn't negotiate. But these things had runes and had severed the link. And here we will go down here. God, that was in 2015. Holy shit. And then I'll choose when we see Natani within the mindscape. Fuck me. There we go. That's just one page, and then we continue on with the fight here. Ah, here. Perfect. Okay, I'll go to the second page. Yeah, so this would be current Natani, and this is sort of like the past Natani. So this is more of like the feminine side of Natani is what we see. And our Nat confronted her within the mindscape. She's basically able to talk to herself, almost. Because remember, this one explains that when Nat's soul was actually damaged, that when binding the soul with Zen, since he's male, he sees himself a male because he's a biological male, that imprint went on to Nat too. So even though she's 100% female, is that mental thing from Zen that convinces Nat that she is a male. And that's why she had such a problem. I didn't enjoy being seen as female whatsoever until she was confronted with her quote-unquote feminine side, we'll say. And that she actually enjoyed kind of like cutting her hair, dressing up as a boy. She secretly liked it. Just because of how the wolves just see their females. They kind of see them almost as, lesser in a way. They fight still, but they're always treated differently. So that's an interesting thing. Like, that's the thing. So I think Nat's gonna be quite fine. I think she is. I think we don't have to worry about Nat. I think she'll come back easily, and she's gonna just unleash holy hell on Clovis. I think that's what's gonna happen. we're gonna be in the mindscape again. We're gonna see the more feminine side of Nat, so like the younger self before the link was ever completed, before her soul was damaged. I think that's what we're gonna see, and they're gonna figure something out where the link won't be necessary whatsoever. Somehow, maybe her soul will be repaired, because she's already had the talk with her past self in the mindscape, and she knows how to navigate in there. So I think that's what's gonna happen. We're gonna have a back and forth of Nat maybe mending her soul back together, and we'll be back and forth with that and the fight scenes that we're gonna see. So it may take a while for Nat's soul to be completely mended, or maybe they'll just pick her up, or maybe Clovis will fly away and cause absolute havoc somewhere else. Yeah, this is interesting. This is gonna be an interesting time. So there's a few ways this can really end. Not the chapter, I mean. But just this fight scene in particular. Like either Clovis is gonna engage the others, and Nat's gonna navigate through the mindscape, and we're gonna see the fight scene back and forth with that. Once Natalie's mind is, well, soul I should say, is bounded together, she'll wake up and just take that opportunity to try her best to take out Clovis when he's not looking. Or Clovis will, just be done with this and fly away. Of course, Keith most likely will retrieve her in just a fucking furious rage and seek absolute vengeance and find a way to wake up Nat, even though he can't really do anything. Obviously, Zen will be there too. And from there, I'm not sure. Maybe they'll... I doubt they'll stay in Edemeyer, and I doubt they can go back to Wolven territories, so I think they'll maybe continue on with Trace and go to Lycan-Knoll. That's the quote-unquote free city where all the species actually live together in harmony. So we may be going there, or maybe going to Tiger territory. Who knows? There's a lot that can go. Or maybe the Templar will be there and convince Trace, Sen, and the rest, since they're in such a bind, to help. Put that in quotes, so they'll be always up to something. So I think that's what's gonna go on. Holy shit, you guys have just popped up like sorry, I was just reading the page over and over and over again. Man. How's it going, man? Nate, it's going pretty well, actually. Thanks for asking, man. Welcome to 50. Okay, now I want to do a deep dive into our boy Keith. Let's see his first appearance, actually. It's not that one. Chapter 2, right? Yeah. Here, 23. December 19th, 2003. Does anyone remember what was going on in 2003? Oh my god. It is so weird seeing all this. And seeing how far Tom came with his art it's really fun revisiting all this. Wow, man. Okay, enough of this reminiscing. Here's Keith's first appearance. I already told you, I'm not a Kydron. Yeah, the Basildon Keith. He sure looked different. Anyways, so this is how we first see Keith, the long-eared Basildon, and Trace has no idea what he is. You're Trace Legacy. You've got to help me. We didn't really see what Keith, who he was, what kind of person he was. We barely knew anything about him. For the first few pages, it kind of just seems like a sort of a dick. All he says to Trace is that he has a mission to bring him back to his island, the Basildon Island, and that's it. That's all he tells Trace. But once he sees Flora, let me fast forward. I think it's actually the next. Oh. Where is it? It's page. Here, yeah, this is the next page. We only discovered that he doesn't like Kydron. Where he immediately takes out his sword. He shows complete aggression against Flora the second he sees her. Literally. My first thought was like, I guess they like really don't like it. Like, they just do not like each other, or there's been tensions between them when I first saw this. Maybe there's a war going on between the Basildon, the humans, and the tigers, and the whole place is just in utter freaking chaos. But nope. Only later did we find that the only reason Trace does not like Flora has nothing to do with politics or anything like that. It's all personal. The reason is because he had a lover, Keith, named Laura, our favorite fox. And it didn't work out for them. In fact, Laura ran away from their wedding. That was planned after Keith was friggin' banished from his island. After he took out his own father. After what Keith presumed was the only reason he did it because his father murdered his mother in a drunken rage. That's what Keith thought. And he thought that for a very, very long time. I think this is like, it's been 2 years, I think, since he's been away from the island. It wasn't actually forever. They came up with one thing that they can get back to. It was basically like an impossible way to end his banishment, which was bring back Trace Legacy. So that was his mission for the longest time. Tom Art Studios. Oh my god, it's so old. Jesus, I can't believe like Tom did all this stuff. It just amazes me. But anyways, let's go to where Keith's character development really started to change. And it's when he got to the island and met his old pal. Oh god, come on. Oh my god, this is torturous. Yeah. That's the page I'm looking for. The three generals. And this is the general that we focus on the most. Keith's best friend. Alabaster, right? I think his name was? Arleric. Yes, Arleric. That was his name. So both Keith and Arleric were childhood friends, and when Keith murdered his father, well, I mean, he did. Arleric was the only one defending him. Keith didn't have a court. They just up and said he's going away forever, and Alabaster hated him for that. He just disliked Keith intensely and had like an obsession over Keith's father. And it was more of like hating his wife over Keith, because he was just the offspring, and he just disliked him just because of him living. That which was always messed up, I think. Everything about him, Alabaster disliked about Keith. And he basically worships his father. I think Keith's father was the only thing that Alabaster actually enjoyed in life. And when Trace was there, they immediately recognized him. And Alabaster does not have it, because somehow Arleric just had hope. More than just hope. He had confidence that Keith would actually do it, that he would bring back Trace to the island. And as we go through this whole chapter, Keith is actually fitting in very well with his people. And then Laura comes. One thing I'm not going to show is Keith's bare ass. I ain't doing that. Yeah. Oh god, no. Wrong page. I'm trying to look for one with Keith and Laura. God. Man, it's been so long since I've read these chapters, but they're such an important role in Keith's character development. This is when he just changes. And in so many different ways. Like, when he's with Arleric, and they're sort of just reminiscing of the past throughout most of the chapter in chapter 10. And yeah, it's like nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. They're just older, and then that's it. Like, Keith and Arleric nothing has changed. Their friendship is still strong. Everything is water under the bridge. The only thing is that Arleric confronts Keith in his art gallery, and he brings out Laura, his old wife that actually went to the island to look for Keith after she ran away from the whole marriage thing. Reason being is, well, we don't see it in any of these chapters, but Laura's sister was incredibly jealous that her younger sister was getting married before her, so she cooked up the plan, kind of just made her doubt herself. And she ran away because of that, because Laura just is... she's far too innocent for her own good and is very gullible. and can't really fend for herself. So she's pretty weak, honestly. Like, let's just face facts, she is. And I guess that's something that Keith saw something in her. It's like Keith is like this soon-to-be soldier that survived a lot of things before the banishment, and now it's different. And when Trace is captured due to Alaric's command over Keith, because that was the only way for Keith to actually be a complete legal citizen into Basildon society, where, well, actually, let's actually go to the fight scene, because he actually fights Alaric, his best friend, and doesn't actually kill him. In fact, the fight is in Alaric's favor completely. Alaric is by far one of the most strongest, most intelligent Bastions there, and that's why he rose up to his ranking so quickly and so efficiently. It wasn't, well, we'll see. They fight hard. I mean, this fight scene is insane with the swords and all, and with Keith's sort of machete-like sword. Oh, here. Hey, sorry. I'll answer your questions. Sorry, I just saw that, pal. What was my favorite page of the entire comic? Oh, man. That's honestly hard to say, Nate. My favorite page? Damn. You couldn't have said a tougher question, man. I honestly couldn't give you one. There's a lot of different pages and chapters that are very reminiscing. But if I had to choose one, I would say that I think it would be, well, after what you said. After the haunting of Laura. After that, when Laura's finally at rest, and Nat is starting to help out Keith deal with his, not so much guilt, actually. Like, Nat actually helped him in his mistake. Because Nat felt so bad that Keith wasn't able to say goodbye after the battle. But we'll see here. After the battle with Alaric, because he says he killed his best friend. He didn't. He did everything to save his best friend, as we can see here. He made it over after a bridge collapses that they were fighting on. Alaric jumps for it. He falls, but Keith still has him even after Alaric just beats the unholy hell out of Keith. Like I said, like there's his scar. That's how he got his scar on his ear. That's why it has a limp. It's because of Alaric. Even after all that, he refuses to kill him. Keith refuses to kill Alaric. He does not want to hurt his friends. He does not want to hurt any relationship he's made thus far, and that's why he said no to the order. Eventually, after almost killing. There's a few times where they almost kill each other, though. There's like 3. I was like, damn, that was close. But since Ulrich just pummeled Keith too much, he was just too weak to hold Ulrich. But he admits that everything he did, advancing up to his station in Master General, basically, was all for Keith. And those were his last words. Even my eye, I wanted you to be proud of me. That's how much Ulrich meant to Keith. Yeah, it was too late. He fell to his death. Damn. I think that was Nora, by the way. That's what she can do. Yeah, that is one badass bitch, let me tell you. But after all that, Keith is in no condition to fight, so Nat carries him to where Trace is lying at a Templar tower because the Templars were on the island due to past Keith. He wanted to destroy the Basildons so he didn't have to fight on 2 fronts. And Basildons cannot use magic, they will go insane, as Alabaster proved. Alabaster went insane, he got power hungry, and it was too much. After that, Nat actually uses an arrow filled with magic that Laura had in a bauble. It was just barely enough magic. But she was able to destroy the tower. Alabaster's tower. And Laura was able to distract Alabaster by choking him. Which she has never done before. She couldn't even hurt a fly. She's, like I said, she's completely innocent. For the first time ever, she did something to save Keith. That was her motivation. But both of them were caught in the blast fire of the tower exploding. And she remembers that, you know, this is her remembering the wedding, how she ran away, and she regretted it. She went to the island to find Keith. He wasn't there, and it's all regret. Her life is regret. And she just says, I tried as hard as I could. And it's really sad, because you want Keith to be happy throughout this whole comic. You just want him to have a smile, and you thought he did when he saw Ulrich and they started hanging out, but when that order was given, kill Natani because we need to have good ties with the Templar. He couldn't do it because Nat's his friend. Oh, here. This is an awesome page. Boom. That never gets old. God, you could see that for miles, couldn't you? Insane. I'm just gonna leave a few questions for you since I won't have the time. Oh, okay. In case you didn't see the question earlier, what was your favorite page? Yeah. Like I said, it was... Yeah, I already said that, Nate. Or is there any characters you originally didn't cling to that you like now? Yeah, that would actually have to be, Evils. I didn't really see Evils as anything. You know, he just seems sort of like, he didn't really seem anything to me. He just kind of seemed like, just a character that was just kind of forced in there. Like he's just part of the background, but after the tower explodes and magic is drained off the island, because that's what it did, those slave scholars they had, Els and Mike had, you know, finally they had free will once again. So seeing that Els, like, kind of wanted to revolt against Eric, because he wanted to truly be free again, and did everything he could, and it wasn't enough. But after that, we see, you know, Kat come to his defense, and that was something. It was, you'd think that Els would just dislike Eric intensely, but he didn't. It was just like water under the bridge. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's something. So now, ever since then, I started enjoying Evel's appearance ever since then. So yeah, I would have to say it would be Evel's. His character development is kind of short, but it's good. What else did you put down? By the way, once you please check my messages, okay? For sure, yeah. For sure, Prince Clovis. I love that name. Here, I just wanted to get those few questions out because I have work now. Just watch it later, man. Don't worry about it. And finally, the most basic of questions: what chapter was your favorite at the time when you first found the comic, not including chapter after you found the comic? Ooh. Yeah, I would honestly have to say it would be this one right here. I think it was chapter 11, right? Yeah, it was chapter 10 and 11. That was my favorite, and kind of still is. There's so much character development for Keith, and he was always my favorite character. So yeah, I would have to say it would be both, because I read those chapters constantly. I really like the development Keith had and how he betrayed his own best friend, but Trace immediately forgives him. Not Flora though. She was always on edge. And after all that, even I mean, like, literally he can't catch a break, Keith. Oh man, this is loading slow. Where is it? Yeah, Keith experiences depression, chapter 15. This is where just I feel so bad for him. I can't help but feel so upset for Keith. Oh, it shit did it. There we go. He only has a... You'll never see a smile on him throughout most of this comic. Well, chapter, sorry. He's in such a bad mood over all that he's been through. You know, even though he's a general now, because in the after the battle, he's, you know, hurt. They recovered everyone that was alive. They went into court because, of course, they did. Immediately. Keith had no sponsor whatsoever to defend him. He could only defend himself. And they basically revoked his what do you call it? Not license. I guess it's transcript that it makes him a legal Basildon, but in doing so, like, he will just be banished from the island, this time with no return. However, all of his friends will be hung from the neck. And he refuses. He takes out a sword from one of the guards, and his plan is to fight his way out. Where is it? Is this it? Yeah. And then we see Alaric's plan in motion. Cause god damn, Alaric was a crafty son of a bitch. Everything he did was in favor of Keith. He planned everything out. He wanted to make sure he found every loophole. Alaric made sure that he was going to bring back Keith however he could. And the witness was Maddie of the fight, because you have to have a witness somehow that excuses these guys. Keep in mind the Eastern, right? The Eastern Basildon are just highly aggressive. This is how the law works. Rank is not something you're handed. It can only be earned through strength of body or will of mind, and Keith Kazar has neither. Sorry, Keith Kaiser. I think you understand our wayward brother, but you are correct. The law states rank can only be earned through through succession or combat. And that technically counts. He technically defeated Alaric in hand-to-hand combat, but this is Alabaster's son right here, who I assume is now a general now. He filled in his father, I assume. And he hates Keith just as much, because he murdered his father, obviously. It's not gonna really hang with him very well. But Maddie, who we find out later is also the king's daughter. Technically a princess, yes, but they don't treat her as such. Like, you have to earn it again. But she was a witness. From far away, she made sure to witness the fight, and she wrote everything down in her own way. And that letter was actually given to Natani after Nat and Flora's quote-unquote fight with the arms general. I guess he would be a weapons expert. He didn't really have much of a character development. He, well, Nora took care of him. And since that, Keith became a general, and the king agreed actually with the late Alaric. And because of that, Keith just feels sad. Like, he's not happy with the outcome whatsoever. Because he'd rather have his friend beside him than have his friend help him from beyond the grave, sort of. So I always thought that's always interesting. And now we see Keith, he's depressed after on the boat, going back to human territory to do his job, which is be an ambassador for the Basildon. But in doing so, the guilt is too much, the pain is far too much. And he just sort of reminisces with Natani, and Natani tells him of a spell he knows to sort of kind of bring back the dead, which is sort of unheard of considering it is. It's not an actual dead body coming back to life or a soul coming from beyond the grave. It's just an illusion. It's a very good illusion. And as we can see, you know, Laura. But it's not how we remember her, it's how Keith remembers her the best, which is her younger self. When they first met, it's too much for Keith. He just completely breaks down. And he is convinced that it's his fault. That everything is wrong in his life. He couldn't save his best friend. He couldn't save Laura. Everyone around him keeps dying, and it's just far too much for him. And he just breaks down, where he basically just, well, says it. I wish we'd never met. He's not even thinking straight due to that, but something happens with this illusion, and it becomes unbelievably real. Because it sorta is Laura. It's a very complicated thing to explain, but basically imagine if Laura's soul actually possessed this empty shell of a quote-unquote illusion. She wasn't able to get past anything. I remember collapsing on the beach, and then there was just emptiness. I kept feeling like I was supposed to go somewhere, but the magic on the island, it's like it was broken, which it was. So magic in this world, it has to be there. If it's not there, then it means the dead cannot go to the other side. So magic acts like a guide to the realm of the dead. Then this is basically confirming that, sort of. I just kept trying to find you. I could sometimes hear your voice, and then I was pulled here and you were talking to me. That's freaky. Just walking on some dark plane of existence, all of a sudden you're here. But that says that if, like, he has to end the spell, but he can't, because how could he? If you don't stop it, you will die, because this spell actually drains the spell's victim, and its victim is Keith, and Nat did not mean to do that. Sort of, kind of. And with that, Keith is just caught in between a rock and an impossibly hard place. He literally does not care if he lives or dies at this point. All he wants to do is just have some sort of happiness in his life, and if it's just even for a few days, then so be it. He will stay with Laura until the very end, which for him would have been very soon. However, through a lot of convincing, not just through Flora, but Trace as well, after some questions, it's Laura who actually convinces Keith to let go. Let go of the guilt, let go of the sadness, like you have. All she says is she has other people to look after him. Like, he's not alone. You have them, your friends, people who care about you. Like, that's the realization. Here, like, Keith's thinks everyone keeps dying around him, yet he has an abundance of friends. His guilt was far too much, and all he needed to do was just hear it from another loved one, which was Laura. So that's what Laura did for Keith in the end. He brought him out of his dark character, which was just never happy, never smiling, only having like one emotion, which was just darkness, almost. And after that, after actually coming to terms with his past and with accepting that Laura's actually gone, she went on to the other side finally, and Keith passes out because the spell was just draining him. And then we see a major change in Keith, actually, right after this. Instead of this dark, gritty character that we thought we knew and loved, he became something better. Was it here? Here. That's just their 10th anniversary, which is still fun to look at every now and then. Man, I can't believe this. This is the page that I found this was the first page that I saw. Where the fuck is it? Jeez, there's so much. I believe is it that? Yeah, here. It's this next one, I think. Yes! April 23rd, 2014. This was the day I found this was the first page I saw, ever, of TwoKinds. This one right here. So there's a little history for you. This is the first one. And I didn't know what to expect. I actually didn't hear this comic from a friend or anything like that. I actually heard it from Tom's brother, Markiplier, on he was doing a Q&A video, and someone brought the comic up, and Mark went into it, and I said, yeah, I'll check it out. And I did, and that was it. I started reading, and I haven't put it down since. And let me tell you something, I was never expecting to do a friggin' podcast of this damn comic. Years later. That was very... yeah. No words for it, really. Not one word. Just, wow, I guess. And now he actually discovers that he does have more of a closer relationship with Natalie than anyone else, and he would like to test that out. Fun fact, Natani actually pecked Keith right after they went toe-to-toe on Basildon Islands. Which is strange, but okay. And after some teasing, they actually do, and something kind of blurts out of Nat where, yeah, his real emotions come out for Keith, which Keith wasn't expecting, but ever since then, Keith started smiling more, for one thing, being more positive person, and just accepting that his past is just that, the past. And Natani really helped out with that. But the thing is, Keith clearly has trouble with loss now. And what will happen after this is anyone's guess, but I can guarantee you Keith is not going to stop. He refuses to let anyone else die around him, and he's gonna do whatever it takes. So I think that's gonna make Keith become a very dangerous individual, and he already is. Especially when he's got Lynn and Maddie with him. Because Keith is sort of a quiet person. But when he's fighting alongside his friends and Nat, at times, he's an incredible individual for a fight. So Keith is by far my favorite character of the whole comic. And I really look forward to more of his character development for the future, especially after this. I think Keith is going to be playing well, for sure he's going to be playing a massive role, which I'm very excited about. I'm so excited for Keith. Like, something's gonna be awesome with him. His character in this chapter is probably gonna be on more of the aggressive side now. Yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, you know what? Let me answer your guys' questions now, because you deserve it. So, Nate, I definitely went through you. And finally, the most basic question, yeah. You originally didn't cling to, yeah, that was Evel's. What chapter was your favorite at the time? And yeah, that was chapter 11. 10 and 11 are my two, still my favorite chapters, actually. I love those chapters. I love to read them. Some great writing, too. Especially with Keith involved. Your favorite page of the entire comic? Oh, man. Anything that stood out to you? Original favorite characters? Keith, as I said. And then my favorite individual page? Damn. Like, honestly, Nate, I couldn't give you an answer. I try to think of it, but I just can't. I don't know what my personal favorite individual page would be. My favorite chapter is for sure 10. Very close to that is 11. But individual page, I can't give you an answer, man. There's over 1,200 pages. If I had to do like an individual, like just based on the art, it would probably be one of the chapter covers then, and I think that would belong to when they first reach Edmire. It just looks really, really nice, that page. Well, that cover. But it is just a cover, so I'm not sure if that counts, Nate. But I hope it does. And Prince, you are lighting this chat on fire. Oh man, you fucking go at it, dude. I may have TwoKinds Speed Racer ×3 Megleen with the Union Jack. And for TwoKinds Horizon Zero Dawn, hell yeah, I play as Ted Farrell, or maybe Flora as Aloy. And maybe have TwoKinds Dead Rising. Man, I haven't heard that game in a long friggin' time. Dead Rising along with TwoKinds Resident Evil. That was Resident Evil 4, actually. I've been hearing good things about it. The remake, of course. I like to watch more than play those games. It's fun. Oh, here. Maybe TwoKinds should have the Conkin movies. Maybe this could be a good idea or something, and maybe have TwoKinds Resident Evil 4 and play as the Spanish guy Raymond Salazar. I'd definitely be down for more sketches of that. I'm currently just trying to pay off my, just some of the, stuff I owe to the bank, and then after all that, I'll probably sub to Tom's Patreon, finally. So that's probably when I'll do it. Probably, with a Spanish accent, or maybe French, or maybe TwoKinds John Wick. Oh, hell yes. I saw that movie Saturday night. It was friggin' awesome. Best camo work I've ever seen for an action movie. I highly recommend watching it. Prince, what else did you see? Or TwoKinds Gotham Knights. I mean, he plays the Court of Owls, which would be interesting. That'd be actually interesting. You are right. TwoKinds Dead Space, hell yeah. I love those games. 2 is my favorite. I really hope TwoKinds makes a TV show. I pick it on Amazon Prime or HBO. What do you think? Oh, Amazon. Easy. I don't know. Does HBO have enough of a following to even put something like that? I would say Amazon first, but if by chance, if Tom had to choose, he would probably either put it on YouTube, maybe make his own website to do it, or he would put it on, he would try and get it on Crunchyroll, I think. So those would be the two. I'd say you would find TwoKinds animated series. Or TwoKinds Ghostbusters, and maybe how the gang tried to escape the Queen Mary and how the ship goes down. It probably shows the survivors. Man. TwoKinds have Plague Tale. Oh yeah, you mentioned that before. I watched my friend do that. That was a lot of fun. Or maybe a zombie game set in London. You know what? I think that was actually a sketch request a few years back. I should check again. Might be on his DeviantArt though, but I'll probably have to go back a few to actually see it. But I'm pretty sure that was a sketch request. Not the zombie thing, but the London, old London, yes. Nate left a few questions, which we answered. Do you think Tom will make TwoKinds Resident Evil or Dead Rising? Because it really needs to make one. Probably Dead Resident Evil first, I would say, since that's been coming out and it's fresh in people's memories. That's eventually going to be a sketch request for sure. In case you didn't see there in the comment, what was your favorite comic? Yep, we answered that from Nate. Wow, so that's the character you originally didn't like, which was Evils. I just imagine if TwoKinds make more art-based or on movies, or the Poseidon Adventure. You seen it? I probably have, honestly. I just can't remember it. Or TwoKinds Hello Neighbor FNAF. Or maybe Bendy, the Ink Machine. I remember Mark playing those, holy crap. You should do that instead. Have sketch Mark playing FNAF TwoKinds. That'd be funny. I just wanted to get those few questions out, which we answered. Thank you, Nate. You are the shit. Looks like the Lord of the Rings, Oh, you were probably commenting on one of the sketches. So, TwoKinds podcast. if they do make Art of Two Kinds the Queen, marry Ship, and have Nut Tawny sing that song, there's got to be a morning after probably 70s song and maybe have an English accent or something. I'd be down to see that, Richard. And then suddenly we've hit the ship and they get hit and they are on the rocks and they tried to escape up the bow meaning. I like how you just go on these large depths of just the Queen Mary every single podcast. I love it. I'll probably show two kinds of Conjuring series. Holy shit, no. That's one thing I refuse to do. Because it involves, well, actually it involves Willow. Never mind. Yeah, show The Conjuring, it involves Willow. By the way, once you're done, please check my messages, which I am. Two Kinds show a Plague Tale. I made Two Kinds have Dying Light and Dead Island series. Dead Island, please. I can't wait for Dead Island 2. I want that shit to come out now. I've been waiting for way too long. Make Two Kinds Horizon Zero Dawn. I need to see that soon. I want to see that sketch. I'll tell you what, Richard. Whenever I can sub to the Patreon, that is the first thing I will request. It's a Horizon Zero Dawn sketch of one of the characters. No matter what in the years to come. Oh, thanks, man. You are the shit. Now, Two Kinds and I play as Richard Kenneth, though. And thank you for. Oh, here. When Two Kinds makes that TV show in 23-24. Oh, please, man. And thank you for the videos and make more videos in the future. Thanks, man. I always try to do all the time. Thanks, man. You guys are the shit. My god, this is the longest podcast we've ever done. An hour and 18 minutes. Holy shit. Man. This was so much fun. Holy shit. Now I gotta think what to do for 100. Man, episode 100. What the hell are we gonna be doing then? And what's the comic gonna look like at episode 100 of this? Holy shit. That'll be pretty awesome to think about. Alright guys, that is it for me. I think I'm gonna log off now. Guys, thank you for all your support. I appreciate everything you guys do. And happy 50. Happy episode 50. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And I will see you all next week on episode 51. The first one. The first stretch to make it to 100. So let's keep it going. As long as this comic keeps going, I'll keep on going. Alright, guys, thank you. Thank you. And take care. Have a great night. Appreciate all your support and love.